Hi everyone, TARDIS Guy 123 here, back today with another Doctor Who review, and today it is Remembrance of the Daleks. Remembrance of the Daleks is a straightforward, action-packed episode, and it's just great for that. It's probably the most action-packed Dalek episode we've ever got, definitely the most action-packed of the classic series. And basically, we got two Dalek factions, the Imperials and the Renegades, fighting over the Hand of Omega, which is a stellar thing, a device used to customize stars. So yeah, basically, they want control of this, and the Renegades are basically kind of like the original Daleks, the ones that we're used to from the earlier series, whereas the Imperials are Davos's Daleks. They're kind of like the new updated Daleks, and they're looking to control the Hand of Omega as well, and they plan to use that to turn Skaro's sun into a source of power. And yeah, so that's basically the setup of the story. As I said, it's fairly simple, but I think that simplicity is what makes it all so effective. It's not convoluted or anything, despite the fact that it does have a lot of continuity references, but surprisingly enough, it doesn't let it get in the way of the story, so it doesn't sag under all of it, which is very good. I think. So, yeah, there are quite a lot of action sequences in this one as well, most notably towards the end. But what I also like about it is that it doesn't wait till the first cliffhanger to reveal the Daleks. The Daleks get introduced almost straight away. I think it's about halfway through the first episode, not right at the end. So we're getting right into the action. It's not kind of like we're getting dragged back again like we often are in these stories. So I think it just works so well with all that going for it. And yeah, so Sylvester McCoy in this story, I think he's very good in this story. And he really does shine a lot of the time. One of my favourite scenes in it is actually the scene in the, not sure if anyone remember this, but it's the scene in the, what's it called, the cafe, where he's talking to the guy in there about what's it called, throwing boulders into a lake and whatnot, and comparing that to time, just like the ripples merge, rebound off the banks in unforeseeable ways. The greater the decision, whatnot, the heavier the boulder, more uncertain the consequences. But yeah, I just love that scene. I think it's one of McCoy's best scenes, and it's my favourite scene from the whole serial. However, it is not perfect. It does have a few flaws. Not kind of like big ones, not enough to make it as bad as quite a few previous ones we've got. It's probably my favourite Davros story, actually. I know most people say Genesis is their favourite, but I prefer this to Genesis. I think Genesis is a bit, well, it's not a bad story by any means, but it's just not as good as this, I think. Then previously we've had Destiny and what's it called, Resurrection, which weren't good stories at all. Then Revelation, which it was okay, but yeah, not as good as this or Genesis. And then you finally have this, which, I mean, after the previous Dalek stories, you're not really looking forward to it, but it actually is very good. It's very surprising. It's very action-packed, as I've said before. But yeah, anyway, back to the flaws, which I was about to talk about, but then interrupted myself. So yeah. Oddly enough, it's maybe the Renegade Daleks I noticed this with, probably because they're the Daleks that are on the streets all the time. They're very wobbly. No, it's just because they're not kind of like, what's it called? They're just wobbling about the place, and it's quite distracting actually. But yeah, anyway, that's that. That's one of the flaws of this. there are quite a few other minor flaws, I think. On another good note, I often don't like Davros speaking stories. I prefer it if he died in Genesis of the Daleks. I think he kind of drags the Daleks down a bit, but I think this time they did it right. They didn't put Davros as the focus. It was all about the Daleks until the very end, where you finally get Davros revealed. And yeah, I think that reveal was very well handled. You get hinted towards it with the battle computer, the voice and the look of it and whatnot makes you think that's Davros. Because first time I watched it, I thought it was Davros, and it ended up not being Davros. So yeah, that's very good. That's a very good plot point for it. So yeah, it's that. One thing I will say that's bad about it is that kind of like the Doctor seems to disappear and that Daleks get on with it, which I guess is a important thing because he's doing other stuff. It just seems a bit odd for if the Doctor not got in on the action as in fight, but kind of like just had to run through the crossfire or something. Because I actually think we never saw both Dalek factions and the Doctor together. It was mainly just what's called the two Dalek factions fighting, or the Doctor fighting one of the Dalek factions. So yeah, there's that. And then it's also the end scene, the Dalek Supreme, that was handled quite well. I'm not sure about the destruction of Skaro. I think the Doctor was quite devious towards the end, which, I mean, it worked, but I've always wondered what happened to the Fowls, because we never really got an assurance that said, oh, they moved off the planet ages ago. Just kind of like, it's a bit odd. So yeah, there's that. And also there is the reference to the cartel master plan, with the Doctor saying we and they and whatnot during the scene where he talks Space. And there's also the kind of thing about what was he doing with the Hand of Omega in the first place? Why didn't the Time Lords have it and whatnot? And why has he waited all this time to go back there? Why can he do that when he got control of the TARDIS in his fourth incarnation? But anyway, that's just some minor nickels. So yeah, overall I think it's a very good story. Highly recommend it. I think it's quite good for fans of the new series and old, so if you're a fan of the new series, then I suggest you, and you're looking for a classic story to watch, then I suggest you go watch this one. Very action-packed and very enjoyable, I think. So yeah, I think that's all really. So yeah, I think maybe 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. I think I'm just gonna go 9, but it is a extremely good story, well worth the watch. Possibly the best of the McCoy era. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off there. Not sure what next week's review is going to be yet, but stay tuned for that. And yep, 2 weeks to go till the 50th.